Hello, hello, oh so local. Today is launch day, June 1st, 2022. And I promised you that you would get content every Wednesday. And I just want to take this first podcast launch interview recording and do a formal introduction of myself. I hope there's not too much background noise. I have the fan on because I'm a little bit nervous and it gets hot in here when you talk. So anyways, I just wanted to do this podcast about me, give you guys a little bit more background information, see the face behind the business. My podcast is called Oh Sow Locle. I do give a vlog / blog background on why I chose the name Oh Sow Locle. The traditional spelling Sollocal, like the traditional spelling, was actually taken by another company. And since we're diehard CLE branded here in Cleveland, Ohio area, I decided to do it Oh Sow Locle. And I did SOW because I'm also a huge gardener, and I believe in like sowing a seed, planting the seed, and letting it grow. So I am just going to go ahead and get started. My name is Ana Munoz. I am 30 years old. I live in Berea, Ohio with my fiance and our two kids. I am a mother of a daughter who is 8, going to be 9 this month. Her name is Anella. I'm also a bonus mom to a stepson who's 14, going to be 15 this year, who primarily lives with his mother in San Antonio, Texas. And he actually is going to be arriving today for the summer as well. So if you could just say a quick positive vibe for his safe travels, I would appreciate it. We have a newer addition to our household, my mother outlaw. Her name is Sandra, and she moved in with us in September of 2020 after some health issues. She did live independently in the Westerly in Lakewood, Ohio. We used to live in Lakewood for about 7 years as well, so we used to be really close. She spent a lot of time helping us with Anella. She helped watch my daughter in her younger years while I finished up college. I was going to Tri-C Cuyahoga Community College. I earned my Associate of Applied Science in Deaf Interpretive Services with a primary focus in K through 12 settings. I did work in education for a little bit over 3 years. I as well was doing freelance interpreting, working for myself in the community, providing interpreting services. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about American Sign Language. And if I could SimCom this whole time, then I would, but it's really hard to sign and talk at the same time. But I feel like I'm pretty good at it if I were to try. I have not worked as an interpreter for more than 4 years, but I'm always practicing, and I do plan to incorporate interpreting into my podcast. I don't know how to sign that. But anyways, I do plan to hopefully incorporate interpreting into my podcast at some point, just so it's more accessible to people. The podcast is mainly going to focus around small business, entrepreneurs, leaders in the community, creators. I just want to provide a platform, a neutral platform, welcoming all walks of life, so that we can make it more accessible to our community to support small and local business. Like I mentioned, Oh Sow Locle, to me, it meant Ohio sows local. And I believe that Ohioans already have that spirit of supporting local and small businesses. I grew up around entrepreneurs my whole life. My mom still owns her own business. She's a massage therapist. Actually here in Berea, she owns her own practice, Empowered Balance Massage Therapy LLC. Just throwing it out there. Future podcast in the making soon. But I've just been surrounded by entrepreneurs a lot, and as a first generation Mexican American, I'm also mixed with other things. I'm Puerto Rican, white, and half Mexican, but I'm a first generation Mexican American from my paternal side. I believe that it's super important to live that American dream, and which is why I wanted to start my own business. I wanted to have a podcast and a platform so that I can put my work out into the world and share my experience with people. And so I also am super passionate and love learning about mental health, and I'm super curious about why people are the way that they are. And I have been on my own journey of mental health and healing from my childhood trauma. And so I've been in therapy, in and out of therapy for about 20 years of my life. I'm not currently in therapy anymore, just because I was able to learn different tools and stuff to manage my mental health without having to go to therapy. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about. I'm not an expert in the field of mental health, but I am an expert in my own experience. So I will be talking about mental health and how I think it relates to business. So that's one of the things that I also dive into with like my blog posts, is how I'm relating mental health to business. And when I Googled the definition of business, there were several definitions, but one of the definitions that stood out to me was that business is like one of the definitions said, business is a person's concern. A similar meaning could be a person's responsibility, a person's duty, a person's function, a person's task, a person's obligation, a person's assignment. And to me, I believe business is multifaceted, and we could be talking about personal business, family business, serious business, business, and mind your own business. So like I mentioned before, I do have a blog that talks about thinking of your mind as a business. You know, you don't have to actually physically have a business or want to start your own physical business in the real world to listen to this podcast. This podcast is here as a learning experience for everybody in the community. I'm hoping that the interviews that I conduct with people is going to provide, you know, I like to call them thought seeds, like planting a seed, and it's up to you if it's going to bloom for you or not. It's not going to bloom for everybody. You know, when we plant seeds, they may resonate with us, and it might just give you that aha moment that you can use in your own life. And I hope that the information, the knowledge, and the experiences that we share here at Sow Locle with you resonates with you. Just to also give a little bit of background, I grew up not really watching TV too much. You know, we watched a lot of movies, and we had bunny ears on our TV. And I mean, back then it was a little bit different. We used to like run with the neighborhood kids and play until it got dark outside, and things were different back then. But as I got older, I still didn't, like as an adult, I didn't buy cable. I never had cable. I just felt like it was a waste of time. I'm personally more of a nature girl. We do a lot of hiking, biking. We don't do as much biking as we used to, which we should get back into. But I actually have a challenge for my kids this summer to do the Metro Park stairs with me. Do the Metro Park stairs with me this summer. just to kind of get us all motivated and stay fit. But yeah, I'm a nature person. We do hikes, we go on adventures, we like to spend time together as a family. And we, like I said, to this day, we still don't have like cable television. I don't follow much of the trendy things, and I much rather spend quality time with people and get to know them and learn from them and just like vibe with people. So this is one of the reasons I started this podcast. I love talking to people. I love connecting with people. I love to network with people, and I like learning from people. So as I venture in doing this, my own business and doing my podcast as a content creator, I am hoping that you guys can benefit from it as well. I'm not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. I know who my supporters are, and I'm okay with that. Like, the right people are going to listen to me, but I am, again, like, very open and understanding, and I want to provide a neutral platform for all walks of life, like I mentioned before. This is a learning experience, and I'm learning as well. I actually recorded 2 interviews, not last weekend, but the weekend before that, and spent all this money on equipment to make sure I'm providing quality audio to my listeners. That's like a really important thing to me. And the whole time I recorded, it was on my laptop audio. So that's a learning experience. I had one of the people say they'd come back and re-record, but you know what? This is a learning experience, and mistakes happen, and then we learn from them, and then we keep moving. And I also want it to be like a real experience. Like, you guys are joining me on this journey, and hiccups happen, and sometimes you record on your laptop audio instead of your thousands of dollars worth of equipment. So anyways, like I mentioned, I want to provide quality audio to you all so that you can get all of the information. It's not like distracting or too noisy, or, I've listened to podcasts where it doesn't sound that good and you just kind of don't want to listen because it's not clear. So my goal is to provide quality audio, accessibility, so that you can support your small and local businesses. I want to provide inspiration, thought seeds. I want to plant thought seeds into the community. I believe that the quality of life depends on the quality of your relationships. And I also believe that the most important relationship starts with you. And like I said, through my journey of mental health and healing and all that stuff, relationships come in all forms. And I don't think that we always like think about that, like relationships with money, business relationships. Like I mentioned before, I like to think of your mind as a business, and you don't have to be physically running a business in real life. I believe that we are all the CEOs of our mind, and you have the power to observe the kind of thoughts that you're having. I do mention this on one of my blogs, but the average human has 60,000 thoughts a day, and I relate that to business transactions. If you have 60,000 negative business transactions a day, how is that going to serve your business? So I think that it's important to be aware of the thoughts or transactions that you're having in your mind, in order to provide you a better quality of life. So we're not going to jump like too deep into the mental health aspect of that at this point in time. I just want to give you guys an overview of like my thought process and why I started Oh So Local. I started, like, I've been journaling since I was about 8 years old. That's as far back as I can actually document about how old I was when I started journaling. I have journaled my whole life, and I started journaling or thinking about Sow Locle podcasts in 2020. So it's been about 2 years. So finally we're launching and finally it's becoming a thing. And let me tell you, the reward of actually doing it is way less stressful than thinking about it and talking about it and being upset with yourself because you didn't start it yet. But we're here, we started it. I started it. You guys are helping. And I'm so happy that you guys have joined me and supported me up until this point. I currently have like 22 YouTube subscribers, and I started with 15 with absolutely no content, which was cool. But like, I was like, dang, 15 people believe in me with no content. Like, they're just out here really supporting. But anyways, if you guys have already liked and followed and shared and subscribed, thank you so much for your support. But I think that the main focus should be like, today is launch day. And for me, launch day means like, I'm going to ask your help to launch Sow Locle into the community. I want to do some giveaways and maybe some prizes in the future. I'd like to do some Sow Locle packages of local goods and do some fundraising to raise money and give back to the community as well. At this point in time, I'm building my podcast platform, my followers, and I don't know exactly where it's going to take me, but my goals long term are to have affiliate partnerships and have local sponsors for this podcast. I know typically people will go with like bigger sponsors or more popular established sponsors. I believe that we can do that, and we can implement that in our community with local businesses. So I'm definitely going to be working on that. And like I mentioned, today's launch day. So if you can share either publicly or privately with your friends and family who are small business owners or somebody that you know as an entrepreneur, maybe they're just on social media. That's fine. They don't have to have a website. But somewhere that if I interview them on my podcast, I can redirect more business to their business. Like, I want more community interaction with that business. So that would be the overall goal. Some of the interviews that I will be doing and have done are more informational, like a learning experience, like just getting to hear that person's story. They can share, their experience, their wins, their failures, what they did wrong, how can they do it better, you can learn from other people's mistakes if you're willing to do that. But like I mentioned before, like I didn't grow up watching TV, so I don't have like a lot of idols or celebrity, like I don't follow celebrities and stuff like that. And I think it's important to connect with people in the community so that like young adults and young people or even grown adults can be inspired by their neighbors and like the successes of people in their community winning. And I feel like once we like have more of that positive energy, like interacting in the community, like it'll just be better overall. And I know there are a lot of like community programs, etc. But this is my way of giving back into the community. I'm willing to talk to people. I've been prospecting to talk with local businesses and entrepreneurs. We have a full calendar for June. All of the podcasts that are airing in June are already recorded and done. So I will be booking for this month to have July interviews being aired. So again, I'm asking for your help to get the word out, share, like, subscribe, like reach out to your small business owner friends and let them know, like, I'm starting a podcast. I want to talk with you, see if we're a good match. I typically for the sake of transparency. And I think that's everything in a business, like transparency, integrity, objectives, you know, having a transparent, oh gosh, I can't think of the word right now. Like having a transparent view on finances. I feel like there's multiple businesses or establishments that are currently existing that could be more transparent to the community, and see like not only does that give people peace of mind to be transparent, it allows you to see mistakes if there's issues like financially in your business. Anyway, so I'm really big, and I have this like theory about mental health and business going hand in hand. And I don't think that we look at it that way that much, but this is something that interests me and it's a passion of mine. So we're going to talk finances, mindset, business, and all things life. I have been doing a Menu Monday on my Facebook business page, and Menu Monday is a planning thing that I implemented in 2020, maybe beginning of 2021, but I've been going at least a year strong on that, a little over a year strong on that. So basically I just like meal plan every week at our house. A lot of it had to do with not planning ahead of time and then overspending eating out because we didn't put the meat out, or you're just so exhausted at the end of your workday that you don't even think about what you're making for dinner. Menu planning for us, at least for dinner, has been super helpful. I usually do it on a Saturday. Before we go grocery shopping, I meal plan, I write my list, and then we stick to the list and we spend less money, even though everything's expensive right now. You stick to your list, you could save money. And the biggest thing for me as a mom and a family member of this household, I cook 6 days out of the week. We only order out on Fridays usually. But it saves so much mental stress of having to figure out what to eat every single day for dinner. And I say this on my weekly post, but my favorite part about the menu is when people ask what's for dinner, I'm like, I don't know, check the menu. But it gives people like in the house something to look forward to, like, oh, we're eating this for dinner. Awesome. And also you can ask people, like, if you can't think of any ideas, you can ask people in your house, like, what do you want to eat for dinner? Let them be a part of it. And then it makes your life easier. I do have future goals to have personalized menu dry erase boards so that I can sell it as merch, because that's something that I do in my life that's super helpful. So like all things that will help make life more enjoyable or easier. And obviously I think that a lot of people want to have more freedom. And that's what I see in starting this podcast, is allowing my creativity to go out into the world and for me to share with you guys the tools that I know and the things that I know, and sharing them with you guys. So again, I do really appreciate all of your guys' support, and I'm looking forward to talking to more of you guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You're gonna be learning more about me as time goes on. I'm not gonna like deep dive into anything too serious, but I just wanted to give you an overview, let you guys meet me. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I do work a full-time job during the week, but I'm available on evenings and weekends. So if I don't get back to you right away, that's probably why. But yeah, reach out to me if you have any questions. If you're interested in setting up an interview, I'd be more than happy to talk. And I'll be out and about in the community and looking forward to talking to you all. Currently, the schedule is for sure Wednesdays for small and local business leaders, entrepreneurs. Wednesdays is our day to focus on those community members. Mondays, I haven't been consistent with my blog post. I mentioned my family dynamics of like my mother-in-law living here, and I'm not using that as an excuse, because that would be like the procrastinator thing to do, make excuses for why I didn't do something. I am working on like being better about planning on my calendar, but I don't know if I'm going to do the blog every week or if I'm going to do menu Monday every Monday and then maybe do the blog every couple weeks. But then Future Friday, I mean, I just made up Future Friday, but I have this huge past, present, future thing in my life. I feel like they all coincide together. And Future Friday, I want to talk about the future, but I also want to feature older, more mature people on my podcast that have a lot of wisdom to share with us. I love old people. I don't mean that in any offense, but I love older people. I feel like, you know, they're sharing the last of the information that they'll ever share with people in the world. So old people make me happy. And so, yeah, I have some ideas but I'm definitely going to provide you content every week on Wednesdays, for the small and local businesses and that learning experience aspect of it. So again, I'm going to post all of my handles in the comments. I have to double check the names, the specific names on some of the social media platforms that I'm not really active on, but I do have a presence in. And if you haven't yet, go to my website. It's OHSOWLOCLE, on there you can find my YouTube link. You can subscribe to my email list, and you will not, like, on my email list, you're going to get the content first. It's going to go straight to your email, which will pop up straight on your phone. You're not going to miss any content. And also we might have special offers in the email subscription as well that we won't offer to everybody on social media. So again, I appreciate all of your guys' support, even the people who aren't supportive. It's okay. You could still change your mind and like and follow and subscribe on my pages. And please, like, launch day means launch it out. Like, send it out to your friends, like, share the love. Let's share this, like, you know, vibe of sewing local and planting the seed and feeding the village. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys all for your support, and I look forward to all the future podcasts. I hope you guys all take care. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.